Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Vaos, and got some time to fiddle around with the computer. Yay! So that means I'm going to try to make another video. Now, the craft that is in front of you right now is actually an updated version of the small VTOL SSTO that could go into orbit. It's actually currently one of my most viewed videos of all my videos that I've made currently. So this is an updated version. As you can see, it no longer has the two VTOL engines on the side. It has, I think there's two in there. No, looks like just one. Okay, it has just one VTOL engine right in the center of mass. No, yes, okay, and it's more streamlined, more sleek looking. It's got the small wings on the back, tiny little satellite probe that I can put into orbit, and of course all your safety measures, your parachutes, lights, emergency eject doohickey, and of course our latest invention, the fuel siphon thingamajig that takes away oxidizer from the craft that doesn't need it anymore. Blah, I can't talk today. Alright, but that's not what I wanted to show you. What I wanted to show you today is, we'll make a new one, how to make an SSTO that doesn't require air hogging. Now, I will put some extra scoops on this thing, but basically it's not, 20, what the hell do you call them? My memory's going too, that's pretty bad. Ram air intakes on the sides, like I normally do, or like a lot of people do. This will be just a basic air engine with rockets that will get into space. And I should apologize ahead of time. I am exhausted, even though I've got time to play on the computer. I am exhausted, so if I say something a little funky, or something completely incorrect, I apologize ahead of time, because I probably will. Alright. Well, this craft, obviously, weight is going to be an issue. This is going to be a very, this is how I used to do SSTOs. Before I learned about air hogging technique. So we're going to go ahead and start with this guy, since he is the lightest of the sleeker looking cockpits. Of course, we're going to give him a way out of there, just in case the highly likely event, something bad happens. And parachutes, yes, those are a must. Okay, now you need to make this vehicle lightweight. You need to get it up high up into the atmosphere before you activate the rockets, and because of its lightweight and the rocket that we're using has it's pretty fuel efficient with the amount of thrust that it gives. It works. That's all I can say. I don't know the science behind it. I just know it works. So let's go ahead and build it real quick. Okay, we're going to use this reaction wheel because of the fact that it's lightweight. And we're going to put two of them on there. Because once you start getting up, this is going to be a dual jet engine. And unlike my other dual jet engine designs, this will be side by side. And even if it was, on top of one another, or what do you call it, straddling each other, it wouldn't work anyway. This is a very old technique. But the reason why I'm doing this is because of the fact that I recently got some messages from some individuals. They were asking me that it wasn't even possible to get an SSTO up there without using the air hogging technique, since air hogging, in their eyes, well, you know, in many individuals' eyes, it all depends on how you look at it. Air hogging was sort of on the cheaty side. So this is why I'm making this video. And believe it or not, we are not going to use the turbojet engines. We're not going to get that high. We're going to use the basic jet engines because they're great on fuel, and we only need to get to about 20,000 meters before we activate the rocket. That's plenty of height before we start going all rockets and ditching the jet engines. And let's see here. Instead of the ram air intake, where the hell? Okay. Instead of the ram air intakes, we're going to use the circular intake. The reason why is because, well, it says it pulls in twice as much air than the scoops. And the ram air intakes are only really, well, from what I understand, they're only pretty much good for high altitude flight. Sure, they do well in the thicker atmosphere, but we're not going to be high altitude flight with jet engines. We're just going to be, we're going to use these jet engines to get up to a certain altitude and then, you know, ditch them. Well, we're not going to ditch them. It's a SSTO, it's single stage to orbit, so it's not a stage by any means. Yeah, I'm tired. A little bit on the loopy side. What am I doing? Okay. Alright, now that we've built our one piece, we're going to take this, duplicate it, bring it back just a teeny bit. There we go. Okay, that's good. And the reason why you want to build one piece before you do that is because sometimes it likes to give you the whole red, I'm going to, you know, mess with your head type of color thing going on. So you build your one piece, then you duplicate it. Alright, now we need wings, obviously. We can't put a whole lot of wings on here because weight is an issue. So I'm going to hold down Shift key and the E key. Put these on the bottom, give them a slight curvature. Just a little bit. There we go. It's not going to be pretty by any means. It's just an example. There we go. Get our little nice looking doohickey there. Actually, I'm going to copy that. To copy it, you click on the part and hold down Alt while you click on it. There we go. That looks nice-ish. Alright, now we need some scoops. And the reason why I'm using scoops is just so I can have a pinch more air while it's in the lower part of the atmosphere. Plus it looks kind of cool. Dun dun dun, yes. Okay, good. Okay, cool. So we got our scoops, we got our circular intakes, we got our basic jet engines. And we need, sorry for, you know, rotating it a million miles per second. Yeah. I am a little bit on the loopy tired side. I get goofy when I get tired. Does anybody have that problem? Nobody? Just me? Okay. Oh, turn off your angular snap. WASD keys. Alright, now I'm going to hit Alt and clone that part. Alright, clone it again. Clone it again, and clone it again. We're going to need a lot of lift because these are very heavy fuel tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put maybe another set on here. Go from the outside in. There we go, yeah, that's good. Just another set on the tips. And actually I'm going to take this, hold down Shift and mouse wheel up. There we go. And I'm going to take this and actually I'm going to put some more on here. Give it a little bit more lift. Since I know this thing is going to be very heavy. I've built something like this before, it's just been a while. Okay, hold down shift, mouse wheel down. Ah, it's coming together. It's coming together very nicely. Alright, so what we need now is a way for the fuel, excuse me, a way for the fuel to share, to become one big giant fuel tank, to share each other's fuel tanks. So you don't have to worry about transferring fuel, it's just all one shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take fuel from the middle one and put it in the side ones, and then I'm going to take fuel from the side ones and put it back into the middle one. So it's a nice loop going on right there. Alright, what else do we need? We need struts, because this thing is not very stable with just side mounted fuel tanks. It's going to wobble, so we want it to keep from wobbling. I'm going to go ahead and do this just like that. Same thing over here. And beautiful. Alright, so we got our struts, we got our fuel, we got our wings, we got our very basic jet engines and air intakes, small little rocket engine, we got our stabilization units, eject system. What else do we need? We need wheels, don't we? Yes, we do. And even though these things are half a ton each, it's the only landing gears we got to play with. So we're gonna go ahead and whoa. Okay, flip this around. There we go. Take that. Hold down Alt and C key. Whoops, not the C key. The X key. Turn off angular snap. There we go. And let's see. Okay, they're a little bit crooked, so I'm going to hold down shift and okay, A key. There we go. Make it nice and wide so that it straddles the runway and doesn't wibble wobbly. Alright, I think we're just about ready. We just have to go ahead and check how this is doing. Oh, this is not doing very well, is it? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just take one of these off. These little control surfaces. Right. And, alright. Let me see here. Okay, well, let me take this wing. Hold down angular snap. There we go. And that's good. There we go. That's a lot better. You always want it to, at least the blue spike thing here, to be right in the middle between the center of the ball and the outside of the mass ball. That's a good spot for it. If you want it to be highly maneuverable, you move it up some towards the center of mass. If you want it to be extremely hard to control, you just move it farther back. Okay, anyway, I'm talking nonsense. I do believe we are just about ready. We need one more thing. A way to empty out some of the oxidizer, since we're not going to use it. Now, being that we're using basic jet engines, it's not going to be a whole lot of oxidizer, because we're not going to use a whole lot of liquid fuel. Whoop, excuse me. Okay. I'm dropping my headset. It won't stay on my head. Okay. Here we are. Sub-assemblies. Fuel starter. Yes. There we go. And I'll flip this around and stick it to the bottom. You know, that sub-assembly thing is actually quite useful. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to actually we're going to stick on here a teeny tiny little satellite, because I do not trust the weight on this thing. But this satellite should be fairly lightweight. Hold down shift. This is already a pre-made one from the vehicle that I showed you just a second ago. Of course it needs struts to hold it in place, because it will be a bumpy ride. You have no idea. And that's just one strut, we need two. There we go. Alright, not saying that that's going to work. It's probably going to all die in a fiery death. Glorious. We are going to call this anti-hog craft, or oh crap, we'll just call it anti-X. Cool. Anti-X. Make sure your stuff is in order. We got, where's that? Okay, that's not where it's supposed to be. Come on, we can do this. We must go faster. Let's go faster. Okay, put that up here, put that up here. Put these down here. What's this? Where does this go? That is, we do not want to use that. Well, actually we do. We want to use this, but that is a part of our emergency system. You do not want that to happen just now, or hopefully ever. Okay, decouplers. Okay, so good. Start the engine, decouple it. After you've siphoned it, when it's in space, you will detach the little probe, and hopefully if we land okay, we won't need to ever use that. Okay, I'm thinking save and launch. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, moment of truth. This is SSTO that can put a small probe into orbit without using air hogging technique. Alright, there's a jet flying over. I do apologize. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and start the big engine. Flame it up. Alt and right click. We're just going to empty out a little bit of oxidizer, not that much. Okay, yeah, burn about 360, 350, give or take. We don't need a whole lot. Stop. There we go. Okay, good. And resource. Ooh, electricity. You know what? I forgot to put a electricity doohickey on this. Nuts in a barrel. That's okay. We'll be fine. As soon as we start the engines up, we'll be good. Alright. You know what I also forgot to do? Put them on action groups. 1 second. Alright, I am back. That was quick. Went ahead and added some generators on here. Some thermal generators. Okay, and I've put everything on action groups. I've put number 1 for the jet engines and the air intakes, so that I can turn them on and turn them off and close the air intakes with turning off the jet engines, which will help reduce drag. And of course, number 2 is our rocket. So let's turn on our jet engines. Okay, everything is open and full power. SAS. And pray. No, seriously, pray. Pull up. Landing gears up. And slowly, very slowly, point completely at a 90-degree angle. What you want to do is cut through the thick part of the atmosphere, which is this super light blue stuff. It lasts about 12,000 meters or so. After that, we're going to go at about 60-degree angle, give or take, until we run out of air for our jet engines, in which case we'll switch over to rocket. Alright, 12,000 meters. I'm going to bring the nose down. I'm just tapping on the W key. I don't want to do it too abruptly. A little bit crooked, but that's okay. There we go, 60 degrees. Keep an eye on that air intake. It's just about to give out. Keep your fingers over the 1 and 2 keys because you're going to hit them simultaneously when you start losing power. As soon as you start looking like it's going to wig out, which is about 20,000 meters. Can I go further? Nope, I heard it die. Alright. Jet engines are offline, all rockets from here. Now we're going to do this a little bit backwards from what you've been either taught or read or learned or watched. Instead of trying to pick up an enormous amount of speed in the atmosphere, because of the fact that we're no longer using jet engines, it's all rockets pretty much. It's going to be like a normal rocket launch. You're going to want altitude first. So basically we're going to stay at about 60 degrees until we reach about 80,000 meters. In which case, when we reach the 80,000 meter point, we'll burn hard to get into orbit. And X. X key kills everything. We are on our way to space. No turbojets, no ram air intakes, just basic jets and basic scoops and air intakes, and the humble little engine. It can be done. Alright, what do we got? 24 seconds? Alright. Alright, I'm going to stop it right there. As you can see, we're way out on this side, but our perigee is ugh. So I'm going to point the nose of this craft way up. Probably screwed up. Everybody's looking at me right now going, "You screwed up." Yes, I understand. It happens. So I'm just going to give it some gas. Point straight up. And even though I royally screwed up, I'm still in orbit with fuel to spare. Ta-da! Pretty cool. Which means that if I didn't screw up and actually got that orbit flying technique right, I would have had a little bit more fuel. Awesome. This is an STO. Oh, STO. SSTO. Alright, let's go ahead and undock our little probe. Go, little probe. Fly away. Hit the bracket key there to switch over. Extend. Extend. And there we go. I have no idea where this is pointed. Which way this is pointed. Oops. That's okay. And there it is. I'm pretty sure you can get a bigger satellite up there. But we're just going to risk the tiny little probe for now. Alright, I have no clue how I'm going to land this thing, so 1 second. Alright, I think I've got a good approach going on. About 10,000 meters ahead of the Kerbal Space Center. And I have to burn in 50 seconds. Here we go. Okay. It doesn't like that. Okay, so that means I'll take this. There we go. This is what our problem is. Come on, put the fuel in the front. I forgot to do that. Ooh, boy. I've been air hogging so much with SSTOs that I never had that have had that problem in a very long time. There we go. Ah, that's much better. Because I remember in the old days I used to had to worry about that, transferring all the fuel to the front of the craft in order for the little weight ball thingamajig to go ahead of the center of lift. There we go, center of mass ahead of the center of lift. Yes. Alright, now that's fixed. Fast forward. Alright, we're gonna have to do an emergency landing. The center of mass is right on top of our center of lift. So we've got some serious stability issues here. And that was mostly my fault for completely undershooting, I guess you could say, the landing zone. We'll be okay. I've done this I've done this a lot. Whoa, shit. Beautiful. Oh boy, crowd goes wild. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, other than my really horrible flying, there you go. A SSTO that can put a small payload into orbit without using air hogging technique. Now this is not, I guess you could say this is air hogging, but seriously, this is nothing compared to what a lot of people do for their SSTOs. This is just basic air intake and some scoops with a basic jet engine. But yeah, there you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. And again, I apologize for being a little on the goofy side. Yeah, I need to take a shower and go to bed. Alright. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I am Vaos, signing off.